Hello and welcome back to Sonny Talk Spurs, and today we're going to be exploring some winger options for Tottenham Hotspur. But before I get into this one, if you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs and hit that notification bell because it'll let you know when I've gone live. And also, for 99p a month, you can become a member of Sonny Talk Spurs and get exclusive access to my podcast, Nice One Sonny. Get your questions in the comments down below for next week's episode. This week's episode went live on Tuesday, I believe, so you can go and check that one out as well. But let's get into some winger chat. So the transfer window slammed shut last week, and Tottenham made a fair few signings. We know of Timo Werner, Radu Dragusin, and Lucas Bergvall. You know, we ticked a few boxes, but there's still a bit of a glaring issue to deal with. Not midfielders. I've done a midfielder video. I did that last week before the window shut, so go and check that out if you haven't already. But today, I want to talk about some winger options that have been linked to the football club. And, you know, when it comes to transfer news regarding Tottenham, there's a few reliable sources, but none other than Paul O Keefe has been tweeting about some winger options at the club, and we're going to be discussing them today. So he tweeted the other day that Barcelona attacker Raphinha is among those who interest Tottenham Hotspur ahead of the next transfer window, and Pedro Neto is also on Spurs' shortlist of targets for the upcoming summer window alongside Raphinha. I mean, quite interesting, isn't it? Two very highly rated wingers being linked with the football club. And I'm going to talk through both of them because at the moment, these are the solid linked players that I have seen. You know, Paul O Keefe has mentioned both. Raphinha was getting more linked, but Pedro Neto's name has been mentioned as well. So we'll start with Raphinha. And Raphinha is one of those players where it seems like he's become the new... How would you put it? Like, you know, like how Julian Draxler was linked with Arsenal each year, or Husamawa was linked with Arsenal each year, or Dusan Vlahovic keeps being linked with Tottenham and Arsenal, but you just think, like, is this transfer ever going to happen? I think Raphinha is in that ballpark now when it comes to being linked to various clubs. Obviously, we know Barcelona's financial situation isn't amazing. You know, Lucas Bergvall fell through the net for them. I'm not sure if it was to do with financial. I think it was more to do with first-team football. But we know that Barcelona sort of need to sell players before they can make any more signings. They are so deep in the hole. So, and I've seen different fees touted for Raphinha. I've seen the likes of 60 to 70 million pounds, which is, you know, the going rate for some top players now. But personally, I think that's a bit too much money to be playing for Raphinha. I did highly rate him at Leeds, but at Barcelona, I think he has been a bit, you know, he's been alright. He's been alright, but I still think, you know, considering some of the players he's signed recently, I don't think he has stood out compared to the rest. And when you sort of look at his stats this season, you know, 15 appearances in La Liga, 3 goals, 5 assists, and in all competitions, you know, 20 appearances, 4 goals, 7 assists, which... it's not too bad from 669 minutes, but I don't think it's amazing either. I feel like it's just proper middle of the park. You know, he can play predominantly right wing, but there is something about this one where I'm just not sure. It's got a big question mark over it for me. Whereas Pedro Neto, on the other hand, I know he suffered a serious injury this season and he has played more minutes, 1,147, 2 goals, 8 assists in all competitions. You know, 17 goals, 17 games, 3 goals, 10 assists. I believe that, you know, to me, that is a really strong return, I personally think, for a player who is Premier League proven. And with Wolves, you know, they've already got out of an FFP hole once. When you look at, you know, they sold the likes of Ruben Neves, they've sold João Moutinho, Raul Jimenez, Matheus Nunes. You know, they are predominantly still a selling club. And with the likes of Hwang as well, who is quite of interest to me as well. I think Hwang Hee-chan, I wouldn't mind him either as a winger option. But I do like Pedro Neto, and like he can play right wing, left wing, attacking mid and centre forward, which is the perfect Ange Postecoglou player when you think about it. So, you know, these two options are great. I think Hwang is also another good option, but, you know, he's been at the Asian Cup with Son, you know, got a good affiliation with him, so maybe, you know, there is potential, but I don't think the links have been as solid as as Neto and Raphinha. I say solid. I mean, it says of interest. You know, when you talk about this transfer jargon now, of interest, what does it really mean? We're not really sure. They're just on list. But we know now going into the summer that this is going to be an area which is going to be taken more seriously, along with a midfielder, a more senior midfielder, I can imagine as well. Because Timo Werner, it's, you know, the jury's out because we don't know how he's going to be for the rest of the season. He's already got 3 assists, but, you know, in the game so far, he has been like, had some all right moments, but there have been moments where you're like, he will get displaced by Son when Son is back in the team. So I think these are 2 very interesting options for Tottenham to be pursuing. I mean, another option, and bear with me here, Jadon Sancho. Just think about it for a moment, because I've seen rumours and reports today that the player in question, you know, Manchester United want 40 to 50 million pounds for Jadon Sancho, and Dortmund have sort of ruled themselves out. I think the Dortmund move for Sancho is basically trying to up his value and resell him on. Personally, I don't think he's got a future at Manchester United. I mean, I was speaking to Mark Goldbridge for TalkSport recently about it, and I said to him about what about Sancho to Tottenham, and he said that Ange Postecoglou could get quite a bit out of him potentially. Personally, if I had to pick one of these wingers, I would go for Pedro Neto. I think he is a solid player, Portuguese international. I just think he has got the whole of his career ahead of him. You know, when you even look at the ages, I think, was it Raphinha is, I'm going to have to quickly Google it, 27. Pedro Neto is, I think he's quite young, a bit younger, 23. I mean, you know, I knew he was around that age, but I wanted to get it spot on. But he's still got the whole rest of his career ahead of him. And a player like Ange Postecoglou could get a lot out of him. The only thing is, I think price range is going to be, you know, it's going to be a sticking point. I think Wolves will want a lot of money of him. I've seen the likes of Arsenal being linked with him, but could he fit in that Arsenal front three with Martinelli, with Saka, you know, Jesus? Depending on, I've seen people say if, you know, Arsenal were to sign Tony, would Jesus then have to go out on the wing? You know, another winger option. So yeah, think he might move this summer, but who knows where he would go. But I think he would be the perfect signing for Tottenham. And there you have it. That's my thoughts on the current winger situation. We've got ages until the summer transfer window opens, so we're all just speculating at the moment until we get some proper info. But let me know, which winger would you want Tottenham to sign in the summer transfer window? Leave all your suggestions in the comments down below. And if you have enjoyed the video, why don't you leave a like on it, subscribe to Sonny Talks Spurs, and hit the notification bell because it'll let you know when I've gone live. And as I said at the beginning as well, you can become a member for 99p a month, and it really helps support the channel, making more and more content every other day. As you know, I try hard to do it daily, but every other day as a standard. But yeah, get in the description, link to that down there. Leave your questions as well, because you get exclusive access to my podcast, Nice One Sonny. So get all your questions down below and hashtag them Nice One Sonny so I can see the difference between them. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this one. I want to get all your thoughts, as I say, down below. But until the next video, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.